I know what my 10 is, but I don't know what my 12, 11, weapons.
Okay, I have no idea what happened there, but that was the intro. For some reason, it decided to glitch out on me. But we're here for the first ranking of the new year. It is episode number 369, yeah, I'll be talking about the top 12 movies of 2025. As you know from the other times you've watched, this is not a typical ranking. I'm going to talk about their personal top 12s. And I've got a great panel here. I've got Brian here. Brian, how's it going?
Going good. 2025 was a great year for film. I was able to get to over 100 for the first time. I was able to get to 150 till new releases seen. Should be a good time.
Also, we've got JPO. JPO, how's it going?
Every year's a good year for movies, man. If you're not a dick, this is another great year. I'm at like close to 130. Let's talk some films. Yeah.
Also here he's got subbed in last minute because we had someone just no show. But Steve,
good job being a dick, Wolf, man. Stick to your schedules.
I wasn't going to name names,
no,
but
I put people on blast. You're 2026. JPO put you on blast. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to talking about the best films of 2025. Because 2025 was a great year for films, as always. The last 5 years in this 2020s decade.
And last but not least, en route we've got Dan. Dan, how's it going?
Looking forward to this for quite a while. If people know from my website, I already have my top movies out. So this will be just me just waxing poetic about movies that everybody already knows that I love.
Yep. But how this is going to work is we're each going to go around in a thing. We're going to talk about at first we're going to talk about them in groups. We're going to go to 12 to 9, and then 8 to 5, and then when we get to the top 5, we'll go one at a time for the top 5. If anyone has a movie higher, they will say punt, and we will talk about that movie when it gets to the highest point it will be. But yeah, with that being said, Brian, what is your 12 to 9?
Okay, my number 12 is Being Eddie, neighborhood documentary. The one. Okay, number 11, Song Blue.
Punt.
Okay. Number 10, Zootopia 2. So punt there. And number 9, Went to Family.
All right. You can talk about the movies if you want. So,
okay.
Yeah. Punt on Rental Family.
Oh, punt. Okay, so
yeah.
Okay,
so talk about Being Eddie and your number 10. So.
Okay, Being Eddie, yeah, documentary I heard about. I love a Murphy, big A Murphy fan going into this, and I really dug it. It's mostly about his career. It's got a history of his Saturday Night career, showing his film career and their career. And the only negative part of it was that he made some bad movies, that's all. And I really dug the documentary and the people they got with it, even the making of his return to Saturday Live. So that's my number 12, Being Eddie. Number 10, Zootopia 2. I really enjoyed the first one going into this. I had some expectations. I didn't go too much expectations, but I really dug this sequel. You get some westerns in there. CM Punk Will Wade pop in there as Zebros. I love the Shining reference they used in the third act. Some great humor there. Lots of great voice talent in it. Like Michael J. Fox, for example, pops up as one of the prisoners. And love the Zoo song for this film. So number 10 is Zootopia 2.
JPO, what is your 12 to 9?
Yes, sir. My number 12 is Caught Stealing, the Darren Aronofsky flick.
Punt.
Cool. All right, number 11 is The Long Walk, one of 2 Stephen King movies this year.
Punt on Caught Stealing. Punt on Caught Stealing.
Yeah, we heard you the first of 3 times.
Punt on The Long Walk.
No, it's in my 12 spot, so my fault, JPO.
All right, well, we're still punting for Brian, so we're still punting regardless.
Oh, okay.
The Long Walk is number 11.
Punt.
All right, number 10 is Bob Trevino Likes It.
Punt.
All right, number 9 is Superman.
Punt.
All right, cool. Y'all talk then.
Steve, what is your 12 to 9?
My 12 through 9 is my 12 is Blue Moon. Number 11 is My Undesirable Friends Part 1, Last Year in Russia. Number
The
10,
documentary.
yeah, it's a documentary. Number 10 is The Long Walk. And number 9 is Frankenstein.
Punt.
Steve, I might get you to repeat them so I can
I'm sorry, what?
so you can talk about
Okay, sorry.
I think Frankenstein and The Long Walk I think are higher up, but yes, but talking about your 12 and 11.
All right. So Blue Moon is Richard Linklater film, and I think it features probably the best performance of the year from Ethan Hawke as Lorenz Hart. He's one half of Hart and Rogers, which was one half of Rogers' Hammerstein before joining up with Hammerstein. And it takes place on one night where he goes to a bar and everybody is celebrating the success of the premiere of Oklahoma, and he's an irritable rascal, if I can say that. And Ethan Hawke plays him complete with shaving his head to make it look like he's balding. They do all the tricks they did in The Hobbit to make him look smaller because he was like 5'1" maybe, and Ethan Hawke's weight 5'7", 5'9". And also has a great cast. It has another great performance from Andrew Scott. It has Bobby Cannavale and also has Margaret Qualley. So that is Blue Moon. Now, the other movie that I want to talk about is is My Undesirable Friends Part 1, The Last Year in Russia. So this movie is a documentary, which is a 5-hour documentary. However, it is broken in 5 different parts in the documentary, and it talks about Vladimir, about all the stuff that's happening in Russia, how Vladimir Putin is just putting journalism on blast and just anything that he doesn't think is the desirable, the view of the Russian government, they consider them undesirable. Hence the title, My Undesirable Friends, because a lot of the characters in this movie, a lot of the real life characters in this movie are journalists who eventually have to leave Russia because they are literally putting their friends in jail and possibly might want to murder them. So I wanted to put those movies on here just for people to talk about, because I think those are movies that are worth watching.
I want to check something. Brian or Dan, did either of you have The Long Walk?
No.
Okay, so you don't need to punt that one. So JPO and Steve, you can talk about The Long Walk.
Screw you, Steve. I'll say because you fucked up my punt. Thanks a lot, Steve. Yes, The Long Walk, 1 or 2, I think, really great Stephen King adaptations from this year. Again, I mean, just, it's directed by Francis Lawrence. I wouldn't say one location, but it's just literally them walking down the road, them young kids, kind of the late, teens to early 20s here. And I just like the talks, the different character arcs are great throughout here. There are several people that get to shine, especially the main 2, I think, really get really great moments in here as well here. Mark Hamill to go 2 of 2 good Stephen King performances as well. Kind of want a little bit more of him, especially for him kind of being, in a way, the big bad. But anyway, I just thought this was a really great, well-made film here that had me intrigued from the get-go. And if you're a fan of Jojo Rabbit, watch out for Jojo.
And Steve, what are your thoughts about The Long Walk?
I mean, I definitely agree with what JPO says. This is probably one of the strongest Stephen King adaptations that we've seen on the screen in a long time. And it definitely goes to the ensemble. Not only does Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson deliver probably two of the best performances of the year. But you also have a great cast. You also have a lot of people that you recognize, and there's a lot of people that you can also recognize too. That one of the teenagers is also from Welcome to Derry. Toshio. I'm sorry, but and this is probably Francis Lawrence's best. I'm pretty sure this is his best film that he's done, and I was a big fan of his work, including Constantine. So yeah, Long Walk. It's a very strong contender for best Stephen King adaptation of the decade.
But Dan, what is your 12 to 9?
I know JPO's got Caught Stealing. I have Weapons.
And
I was waiting for it. See how I waited? Number 10 is Ephes. And number 9 is Train Dreams.
All right, Dan, you can talk about Ephes and Train Dreams.
Yeah, I figured that much. Ephes is about a bunch of guys that play a wood-bat baseball league on the weekends in Nashua, New Hampshire, and their baseball field was going to be torn down for some apartments, and they just get together every Sunday and on the weekends and play baseball. But it's about the camaraderie between the guys and the banter and the back and forth, and they're giving the guys a hard time, and it just, if you love baseball, if you love hanging around with your buddies, like we're doing tonight on this show right now, and just ribbing each other a little bit and having fun and doing something you love, you'll absolutely love this movie. It's such a sweet little small movie that, and it's one of the best baseball movies I've ever seen. And I know you say, "Oh, really?" Yeah, it is, because it's the true nature of baseball. You just get together and play baseball. You know what I mean? And I absolutely love this movie. I just want to share with everybody, if you're a sports fan, if you like sports movies, this isn't your kind of predictable kind of normal sports movie, but it's a really great one, in my opinion. Train Dreams is from Clint Bentley, and he's done a couple good movies. Jockey is one of the ones he done. And Train Dreams is about a lumberjack in the Pacific Northwest who just kind of works, cutting logs, cutting trees, traveling from various places on trains and stuff. He lives in a log cabin in the Northwest, and it's just a quaint little small movie with unbelievably gorgeous cinematography, a fantastic score, some really good supporting performances from like William H. Macy and Carrie Condon and Felicity Jones. But the main star of it is Joel Edgerton. And if you're a fan of Joel Edgerton, you'll love him in this movie. But it's not like got a lot of funny moments or like explosions or action scenes or none of that kind of stuff. Just a small character study about a man in the early 1900s who has a job cutting trees and stuff like that. I can't recommend this enough. It's on Netflix, I might add.
And that it is with me, but for me, at number 12, I've got Thunderbolts. At 11, I've got Final Destination Bloodlines. At 10, I've got The Naked Gun.
Hunt.
And at 9, I've got Wicked for Good. But I'm going to be talking about Thunderbolts. It's one of those MCU movies which I didn't know what I was going to expect going into it, but it's one that I thought I've really good, and the way they kind of dealt with like mental illness and that, I think it just really it worked as well, and just showed that like all these characters who have had like villainous like paths and stuff, I think like can be redeemed and all that. And I think Lewis Pullman, I think, was great as Sentry. For number 11, I've got Final Destination Bloodlines. I'm a big Final Destination fan, and this is another one that's like, when I read the synopsis, like this is going to be an interesting one because they're going to like a whole like past and then having it could be like a generational thing. I felt was a really interesting way to do this, and I think it was really good. I think got a very poignant to Tony Todd's like final scene. I thought was just fantastic, and yeah, and fuck pennies, um, and then Record for Good. I thought it was a great sequel. Well, yes, I do admit, like, my experience with Record of Good might have been coloured for the fact that I chose to do the double feature and watch the first part and Record for Good as a back-to-back thing. But I really enjoyed it. I'm a big musical fan, and I thought Record for Good was just good. Do I think it was as good as the first one? No, but it's I from what I heard about the musical, like the second act has always been rather light and just sort of not really been as beloved as the first half. So I knew that them padding it out was going to be risky, but I think they did a good job of padding it out. But that we are moving on to the 8 to 5s. But Brian, what do you have at your 8 to 5?
Number 8 is Pee Wee as himself. Number 7, Naked Gun. Number 6, Caught Stealing. And 5 is Sinners.
Bump it up.
Okay. So 876 now. So
Yep.
Number 8, Pee Wee as himself. Yes, it's a 2-part documentary, but it does work for this. I'm a big Paul Lewis fan. When going into this, I was curious how they're going to tackle this, and I really enjoyed it. Like they show the history on how he became the character. You see how he incorporated the chocolate tea, right? He incorporated from a ex-boyfriend of his, and you deal to his sexuality as well. The first part ends with him how he made his big adventure. Second part, you see him talking about the failure of Big Top Pee Wee and him bringing back the character for the Broadway show in 2011. And it didn't really talk. He didn't want to mention about his whole cocaine issue, but they sort of did a little bit. But I really dug it. So that's my number 8, Pee Wee of himself. Number 7, Naked Gun.
Just quickly, when you talk about Naked Gun, pause afterwards because I'll talk about it as well. So
okay, number 7, Naked Gun. Okay, so you go first, Mark, or should I go first?
You can go first.
Okay, yeah, Naked Gun. To prep for this, I was able to watch the first 3 for the first time, which I talked about a long time. First time on the Pierce Co. And yeah, going to this, I was curious to how they're going to tackle the return for spoof movies, but I did trust the director, Kira Schaefer, who did Popstar, and he's in some westerns. Cody Rhodes is the bartender, Paul Hauser, and Hawkins. And yeah, a lot of great humor there. I love the Buffy joke they had for the Tiwa scene. I was laughing a whole lot of time, especially the body cam scene where he had eat the rabbit, his reaction to it, and yeah, I love the spook moments. A lot of jokes there. So that's my number 7, Naked Gun.
Yeah, like Naked Gun was a lot of fun. Like, I was laughing all the way through the movie. I thought it was really fun. And it was one of those ones like I've come to appreciate Pamela Anderson as an actress. And it was like she was great in The Last Showgirl. And she was just as good as this. And yeah, and I think having Liam Neeson as Leslie's sort of son, I think it really rips. He does have that same kind of deadpan humor as Leslie did. I think it just really works. So yeah.
Yeah, but number 6 was Caught Stealing. This is a movie I went with no expectations. Only saw one trailer for it, and I was mind blown with how great it was. And Austin Butler, I'm a big fan of. He was great as the main lead. A little cat and mouse, mostly cat and mouse, like trying to figure out how was having with the money from his roommate, played by Matt Smith, who I didn't recognize him in that role, but he's doing a great ensemble there. Vincent D'Onofrio, Lee Schreiber. I really enjoyed Carrie Kane's return to film in the scenes with playing the Jewish mother. I did enjoy the ending. Was great. A good little cameo toward the end. A lot of fun. That's my number 6 is Caught Stealing.
But
Wolf, JPO, you go first.
well, no, I was about to say, Dan, you go first, but then JPO can transition it into his 8 to 5. So
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I absolutely love this movie. I mean, I'm a massive baseball fan. Obviously, you guys tell him I just talked about Ephus, and this guy's a San Francisco Giants fan and stuff like that. And he was an ex-baseball player who, he injured himself, and then he ends up not being able to play the game he loves. But yeah, the supporting cast in this movie is fantastic. You got the crazy Spike Mohawk Doctor Who in there, Matt Smith, and you got who was with Vincent D'Onofrio? I forget. It was Vincent D'Onofrio.
Schreiber.
Those guys as the Hasidic Jews were hilarious. They were funny as hell. I mean, what was it? Zoe Kravitz, I believe, is in here. I mean, this cast is so good. This movie had no business being as good as it was. I mean, August is like one of the worst months of the year for movies to come out, and a couple really good movies came out in August this past year, which is kind of shocking to me. No, this movie was fantastic, and I loved seeing Austin Butler, like you said. That he's starting to show his range. He's starting to show that he could do more things than play a muscle-bound, bald brute in Dune Part 2. You know what I mean? Or Elvis, which he was. I mean, definitely worthy of an Oscar playing Elvis, but I was glad to see him doing other things and showing some range in his career. But, oh, yeah, I had a blast, absolute blast with Caught Stealing.
And JPO, what are your thoughts about Caught Stealing? And you can transition to your 8 to 5 afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, not too much to add on for Caught Stealing here. Yeah, I did go in with expectations because of it being Darren Aronofsky, and I like the fact that it didn't necessarily feel like his vibe. This felt like a Darren Aronofsky kind of having a little more fun here. There's very much stakes though here. There are characters that do drop off, if you will, and whatnot. So yeah, no, I just thought again, really intriguing. Great. Again, I'm a sucker for a great ensemble and really intriguing kind of thriller action piece. And yeah, good job for Butler and the whole cast here. So yeah, we're doing 8 through 5.
Yep.
All right, coming in number 8 is Roofman.
Punt.
All right, punting. Number 7 is My Dead Friend Zoe. Yeah, I knew I'd be alone on that. Number 6 is Wake Up Dead Man. The third Nice Out. And the number 5 I have is Jay Kelly. All right, sweet. I get to talk a lot. My number 7 is My Dead Friend Zoe. Two of these next 3, also along with Bob Torino Alexis, which we'll talk about later. This is just movies that hit JPO in the feels. And there's actually a 4th movie too. We'll talk later. This is about Sneaker Martin Green, who you maybe seen from Walking Dead and whatnot. Her friend from the army has passed away, Natalie Morales, and she's just going through PTSD, but she actually sees her. You know what I mean? Literally, like talking to her, that kind of gimmick as well here. But it's a lot more than just that necessarily gimmick on its own premise here. It's extremely well acted here. I really felt it. There's a certain, I don't know if I want to say a twist or anything, but there's more to the story than you obviously know at first. And I thought that really hit home and made it just that much kind of deeper and better, and something that I kind of personally related to. Good performances too by Ed Harris and Morgan Freeman on the side as well here. And just a really great one of the most underseen movies too. Like I was looking at on Letterboxd as well. My number 6, the third, Knives Out. Wake Up Dead Man. I think 3 for 3 for the Knives Out franchise here. Maybe a little slightly darker than the first 2, maybe not. I think there's always been some really fun R-rated elements from all 3 here. Again, just a fantastic cast here. I want to see Daniel Craig do these till he literally can't act no more. Because it doesn't necessarily have to do any action. He can just have really fun dialogue here. Josh Brolin's great. Shout out to Josh Connor. That was fantastic. Not so much on SNL, but he's great in this movie. And yeah, again, just intrigued by the tale. treated by the cast. Some of them getting used a little bit more than others, which of course is just going to kind of happen at the end of the day. But the meaty moments I think are really there. And then finally, Jake Kelly, my boy Adam Sandler, giving a really great performance here. Hopefully he wins that Golden Globe tomorrow. If not, I hope he at least gets that Oscar nomination here. He's really good as the assistant to George Clooney here. He's trying to kind of keep things together. And there's several really great moments throughout here. Sandler trying to think, is it all kind of worth it for himself, being kind of the sideline to Clooney here. There's a great sequence. My favorite cameos as one of the co-star of the year might go to Billy Crudup, because he's able to do in like 2 scenes. Like, it's the most meatiest actor cameo you can ever have, because he goes from like nice and unassuming till he even gets a point where he gets to like act as an actor acting, and then he gets to go like over the top, like mad, like angry, and like he fucking kills it. Billy Crudup in his side performance as well here. And then also Clooney, I thought it was really well done to look back on your life here. And I know some people have fuck you, whoever left. And I know some people have a slight problem with some of the ending, or maybe it's a bit too kitschy for them or whatever. I loved it. I think Clooney kills it. I love Jake Kelly a lot.
Steve, what is your 8 to 5?
Okay, my number 8 is Sentimental Value.
Punt.
Number 7 is Marty Supreme.
Big punt.
Great. Number 6 is Friendship. And number 5 is It Was Just an Accident. All right. So let's talk about Friendship. Friendship is it is a comedy, but it's based, if you're a fan of Tim Robinson, and I Think You Should Leave, and eventually the TV show The Chair Company, which was stemmed from the working on this project, I think this is a hilarious, very awkward, but just the way things get involved and crazier, just because this guy just want to be friends with the local weatherman, and it just goes like, it literally goes out of control. Tim Robinson, I know a lot of people are not a fan of his type of comedy stylings, but I think he delivered one of the best performances of the year, even if it's just him playing himself and playing the same typical Tim Robinson type. But you also have Jake Dylan Grazer in it. You also have Kate Mara in it, and we also have a very interesting turn from Paul Rudd. And for me, there's a lot of quotable lines from it. And for me, because I've seen this movie at least probably 2 times in theaters, and if this movie gets me to go watch this twice in theaters, I think it's great it's worthy to mention. It Was Just an Accident. So this is the latest film from Jafar Panahi, and it's about a person who works in a garage who recognizes the voice of his captor when he was caught during war times in Afghanistan. So he basically plots to kidnap his tormentor, and then as he tries to like talk to his friend about whether he recognizes the voice, because he's not even sure if it's him. He's not even 100% positive. So as he goes through the city and in a van with the guy in the back, he eventually meets all these different type of people, and then eventually these different people also have a motive to wanting to see this guy gets what's coming to him. It's very tense. It's very dramatic, and the last scene of the movie is probably one of the most haunting scenes of the year. So it was just an accident.
But Dan, what is your 8 to 5?
Frankenstein, Avatar, Fire and Ash, Highest to Lowest, and Marty Supreme.
Punt.
And we already punt the last time on someone just said Marty Supreme.
Yeah, but he's probably got it higher than
Yes.
it's probably in his top 4 though.
Exactly.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Once we said punt, I thought we only said it once, but okay, no problem. Yeah.
No, you punted on this out of the bracket.
Can we do Everybody talks about Frankenstein now, or is it higher up?
I think you're the highest that Frankenstein was. So
Okay.
everybody talk about Frankenstein. So you can start it off.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Guillermo del Toro, and I think the guy, he just has a knack for making great films, and this is a remake of one of the all-time classic Universal monster movies, and he cast Oscar Isaac as the Doctor and Jacob Elordi as the monster, and he basically puts both Frankenstein and the
Oh,
Dad?
I think we've lost Dan for a bit.
I'm sorry. The costumes are incredible. The production design is incredible. The score is incredible by Alexander Desplat. I mean, the performances from Oscar Isaac, Christoph Waltz, Goth, and especially Jacob Elordi as the monster. I mean, he's incredible. He's a great actor, but I didn't see this in Jacob Elordi, and I thought he was amazing in this movie. This movie is easily one of the best movies of the year, in my opinion. That's why it's on my list. Avatar Fire.
Just hold up.
JPO or something.
Steve was the only other one that had Frankenstein.
Okay,
Steve, what do you think about Frankenstein?
I mean, Dan really, not really much to sum it up, but I'll just add a couple of stuff that, this blows the Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein out of the water. I'm sorry if people are fans of Frankenstein and of the old school Bride and Frank. This movie blows this out of the water. I just love how Guillermo del Toro just creates a world in which we can actually live in and breathe in, and just feels realistic, even though like the reanimating of tissue is not possible. But like the production design, the costume design, the performances, the ensemble, especially Jacob Elordi. I mean, Elordi really conveys enough emotion to really make you feel for the creature. And it's a different take, a performance compared to what Boris Karloff did to it. But I think this surpasses all the other Frankenstein movies, in my opinion. And Del Toro definitely gets recognition. The only thing I hate about it is that I saw this on my television and not in theaters. I wish I would have just seen this in theaters. That's the only minor quibble I have. But that's on me, though.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater at a press screening, but don't say, "Of course you did," or something like that. Somebody, I
bit my tongue. I didn't say it. I bit my tongue.
All right. Thank you, JP. My number 7 is Avatar: Fire and Ash. I'll tell you what. I know maybe this is blasphemy, and maybe people like you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know, but I think this is the best Avatar movie I've ever seen. It's one of the most gorgeous movies I have ever seen in my entire life. I know we've touched on some of the themes in this version in the last one, but even that one doesn't look as good as this one. This is going to be an easy visual effects Oscar winner. It hasn't even been nominated, and it will win the Academy Award for visual effects right now. I'm telling you, it is such a gorgeous movie. The new villain that's in it, for the Ash villain, and she's the granddaughter, I believe, of oh God, come on, Malcolm, Charlie Chaplin, the granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin, and I just couldn't believe what I was watching. I saw this movie in 3D and IMAX, and I was literally sucked into this world that was going on. And it just shows James Cameron cares about the environment, cares about the planet. I just wish we would have a president that did that. I mean, this movie is incredible. Some people don't think it's the best one, but I absolutely do. I think it's an incredible, gorgeous, beautiful movie, and that's why it's on my list. Number 6 is Highest to Lowest. Highest to Lowest is a remake of a Akira Kurosawa movie called High and Low, but it's Spike Lee doing a reimagining of this story. If you like New York, if you like sports, if you like Denzel Washington, if you like Spike Lee movies, you're going to love this movie. It is a fantastic movie. It takes you on a up and down ride that you don't see coming unless you maybe saw High and Low already. But that's a 1961 Japanese black and white movie. So a lot of people might not have seen it. I mean, it just shows you that Denzel and Spike Lee just have a shorthand, a chemistry with each other. And Jeffrey Wright, oh my God, Jeffrey Wright is amazing in this. So also, I never heard of this guy before watching him in this movie. A$AP Rocky. I don't listen to rap music. I'm not a fan of rap music. This guy was so good. And the song, there's a song at the end of the movie. That's amazing. Why isn't this song getting considered for more awards? I love the song of this movie. It's almost like through the whole movie where they're talking about this song and this girl that's singing this song. It's on Apple. I know. And Frankenstein's on Netflix. But I just, people, please seek out Highest to Lowest. I think it's an amazing movie. It deserves more credit than it's been getting for this year. Yeah. And number 5 is
we'll talk about
That's right. All right, I'm gonna jump out for a minute and I'm gonna jump back in a few minutes, okay?
Yeah.
All right, bye. You're set up in your room.
But with me, and I kind of wish Standard stayed a little bit while I agree for this, but never mind. At my number 8, I've got Superman.
Punt.
At 7, I've got Bob Trevino Likes It. I think this is highest it's going. At 6, I've got Sorry Baby. And then my 5 is Tina. Oh damn! I'm shocked. No one had a New Zealand movie.
I was about to say what?
I know you mentioned that in the group chat.
Yeah, but yeah, but with I'm going to start off by talking about Superman. Superman was one of those movies.
Higher.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. So we'll move into Bob Trevino Likes It. Yeah, Bob Trevino Likes It, I think, is one of those movies which people was raving about it a lot in the group shares. Like, it seemed to be the go-to movie. Everyone says, like, I'm catching up 25. It's like someone will say you should check out Bob Trevino Likes It. But yeah, I mean, I thought it's a very good movie. It's a very like the story itself, I thought was well done, and yeah, but yeah, so check see who else had it. I think Brian, I know you had it. I
did not have it. JP had it.
Well, I thought you did as well, but JP, what are your thoughts about Bob Trevino Likes It?
Yeah, hell yeah. Just a really great movie about just, maybe a little bit of loneliness, finding a friend here, throughout, social media as well. The main 2 performances I thought were fantastic. I've always been a Leguizamo fan, so I like seeing him in a very laid-back role here. Yeah, this is just, again, one of the 4 films tonight that, like, just really hit me in the feels of just kindness, of just finding yourself, believing in yourself, like, again, the ending nails it, man. Like, this one should really warm the cockles and even, like, Dan Skip Allen's Dark Heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you're the only other one that hit it. Moving on to number 6.
Because JPL likes it.
But yeah, Sorry Baby. This is a movie that's definitely not going to be for everyone, but it's like, it's a really good movie about like with a very big message of like when you're in these kind of relationships where it's like abusive and all that, and you're trying to get out. It's like the movie itself is really good. The way that that Eva Victor tackles it, and that I think does it in a way in which it's because it is in a way a dark comedy, but I think it's a way it's probably her way of sort of coping with it, and I think it's done in a way I think it's just really good. And yeah, this is one of those movies where I saw it on the DVD shelf at the store. Was like, yeah, well, I'm going to just buy this blind, and yeah, so but yeah, and then number 5 is Tina. So Tina is basically about like this teacher who lost her daughter during the Christchurch earthquakes that happened in 2011, and it's her way of sort of coping with that while trying to help teach this choir to win this choir competition and that. And I think it's a really good inspirational teacher story, and it's one of those ones like, and so I think it's really good. If it ever gets released in America, I would suggest to everyone. I think it's a really good movie. I think people will enjoy it. But now we're going to do one at a time. But Brian, what do you have at number 4?
Number 4 is Superman. So this is the highest for Superman. Then?
I think this. Yep.
Okay. So I'll begin. Then I'll let other people talk about it after.
Yep.
Yeah. Superman. I was interested. The trailer sold me on it, but I wasn't not that big fan of the James Gunn directed stuff, but a lot. But for his humor though, but I went blind. And I really dug this. David Coruscant is perfect as Clark Kent. I wasn't that familiar with which Bronson had. I haven't seen her show she had, but I really dug the chemistry they had to each other. Yes, it's overstuffed with a lot of characters, but it does work. Nathan Fillion, even though he had the Uncle Fester hair, but I did dug it. But the part that sold me was the whole part with the mirror dimension scene that acted then rescue him afterwards. I really dug Edie Hasergi, I believe his name is, for Mr. Terrific. He was good wherever he pops up. Nicholas Hoult was wow. He was great as Lex Luthor, and yeah, the look of Crypto when Millie Alcock was good as Supergirl when she popped toward the end. But yeah, even Scarlett John though, the other people for the Daily Planet stuff worked as well. So Superman number 4.
But JPO, you also had Superman. But what are your thoughts about Superman?
I'm a punk rocker. Yes, I am. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah. I like James Gunn's universe that he's built so far here, and I'm a James Gunn guy. So yeah, I like what he's done so far with the Superman universe. I like that we jumped right into it here. Didn't do too much of an origin. He's already kind of hanging with Lois and whatnot. So I kind of dug most things about it here, man. I like our new Lex Luthor. Cornsweat's really good here. I'm a huge. We got double Serenity here. Got Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk as his main robot. Even has a couple of funny lines here. Wishing he had a name and whatnot. So yeah. And again, just the spirit of it here, and again, it kind of lands the ending for me as well. So yeah, Superman's on my list. It was like my number 10 or something like that.
It was number 9, but
number 9.
Yeah, and for me, yeah, I thought Superman was a lot of fun. But it's also one of those ones like when I saw they were announcing all these characters, like this is going to be a little very stuff. But James Gunn is really good at sort of introducing characters and using them in a way that you are interested to learn more about them when you eventually get to hear more about the story later on, but also not give them too much time that it doesn't take away from the story. And yeah, it's just one of those ones that I totally didn't expect. But JPO, what do you
going there? Going downtown.
Loud noises.
But JPO, what do you have at number 4?
Did Dan have Superman as well, though, or no?
Unless he said it and I missed it, but Dan did not have Superman.
Okay, just double check.
Thanks, Brian, for derailing the episode.
But JP, what did you have at number 4?
Pew pew, stab stab, rocket launcher. Get it? Those are all weapons.
But
Right,
look, yep.
Yeah, man. No, dude. What is guys in the room or whatever they were called? What is guys? Zach Kreger is 2 for 2 now. Coming off of Barbarian with this, I think this is even more than Barbarian too, because this does, I think, kind of like takes his time in a very nice, eerie way. And again, just he had a bigger budget, had such a great cast too. Again, I'm a sucker for an ensemble. So you got Julia Garner from Ozark is really good in this, kind of the setup of where the fuck happened to these kids here. Josh Brolin had a really good year. Josh Brolin's in like 3 films that I quite dug, if not like 4. I'd have to look back. Alden Ehrenreich really fun as the cop. Austin Abrams is the druggie. A little bit of Benedict Wong, and then shout out to Amy Madigan, who give her a lot of credit too, because that character is so out there, and like the look of it is so strange that I think with a different certain actresses playing it, like it might have gone too kind of far in, but like she's deliciously delightful as well here. It ramps up. It knows when to ramp up. It has just the right amount of like just craziness, but like also enough answers to a degree with enough possibilities as well. Again, I think it relatively nails kind of the ending. Some really fun, crazy bonker stuff in the end. And yeah, right now the dude's 2 for 2. Looks like they're trying to tap him for maybe Resident Evil. Who knows? But I'm down for whatever Kreger does in the future here. So yeah, Weapons I thought was pretty freaking dope.
Yeah. I had Weapons at number 11. I'll tell you right now, JPO. I mean, what a great movie this is. I mean, look, without getting too political, we're finding ways to weaponize things in this country via our political stances and things like that. And I think this is Zach Kreger saying, yeah, look at this. I know what's going on in the country. I know the problems. Look at this. I'm going to show you the most craziest way to weaponize something. We're going to weaponize a bunch of kids via a crazy witch named Gladys. Yeah. This is a political movie with the undertones. You just don't see it if you're not looking for it. And I think Zach Kreger has done that to a T. He does a phenomenal movie with everybody in this cast. And I agree with JPO. This guy is a director who's on the rise. He's going to be tapped to be doing some interesting things in the future, because Warner Brothers, I'll tell you right now, if they let this guy go somewhere else and whatever, they're making a mistake. They need to keep this guy in-house, making movies like this with great messages and making people think about what they're watching. And it's not the bunch of cookie cutter garbage that's out there all the time. This guy is 2 for 2, exactly like you said. Yeah, I hope Amy Madigan wins that Oscar, because I think she's going to win. So
yeah, I'm definitely curious about his Resident Evil remake, but yeah. But Steve, what do you have at number 4?
You did.
At number 4, I have No Other Choice. All right. Number 3, I have The Secret Agent.
No, you can do about No Other Choice. We're going one at a time now, Steve.
Okay. Oh, one at a time. Got it. All right. Sorry. Yeah. No Other Choice. This is Park Chan-wook's latest film, and it's basically about a guy who works in the paper business and unfortunately finds himself fired. And then he goes to apply for another job, and then he finds out that there's like 3 other people that are also competing for the same job. So he decides to systematically eliminate each of his competitors. This is the darkest of comedy. This has great cinematography, amazing score, great direction. And just Byung-hyun Lee is amazing at a man who is just desperate and willing to do anything, literally will kill for his job. And the fact that there's a subplot about his rotting tooth that symbolizes the rotting of his soul, it's really excellent. Unfortunately, this is probably a movie that's going to get lost in the Oscar production categories. For international film, yes. But in terms of cinematography, production design, editing, unfortunately, I don't think they'll get nominated, and it wasn't on their long list, especially on BAFTAs. So it's a shame that won't get recognized. But I'm hoping for a Byung Hyun Lee Golden Globe win, maybe, hopefully. Number 3, The Secret Agent.
Stop.
No, not. Pay attention to the format. Not all at once, just one at a time. Rotate.
Yeah, we're not doing all at once. We're just doing one at a time.
All right,
But
he's innocent, guys. He's innocent.
I don't know the format. My bad.
But Dan, what do you have at number 4?
My number 4 is Hamnet. Anybody have that? Hamnet? No? Okay. Hamnet is a story of Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. He meets a woman in the woods, and she lives in a little hovel, and they kind of catch it on. She's rumored to be a potential witch or whatever, but he kind of likes her and stuff. So they get on their relationship in the 1700s England, somewhere in outside of London, out in the outskirts of London somewhere, in a little small country town, and they kind of like each other. They get to where they're gallivanting around the woods and having a good old time, but her mom doesn't like him, and so they kind of have to secretly kind of go around, and they end up loving each other enough to where they get married despite her mother's dislike of him, and they have a child together, and tragedy happens, and that convinces William Shakespeare to write his greatest work ever, and that is called Hamlet. And that's all I'm going to say about this movie. This movie will destroy you. If you have a soul inside your body, it will destroy you. I cried like a little child watching this movie. That is what will happen when you watch this movie. It is so good in a way that I know it's like it doesn't have laughs. It doesn't have like explosions. It's not an action movie. It's really a phenomenal drama from Chloe Zhao, who we've seen do great work in the past with Nomadland and whatnot. Jesse Buckley gives the performance of the year. Paul Mescal is incredible. I can't say enough about Hamnet. You go into this movie, bring your box of tissues.
I love how you had to specify it's not an action movie. It's like I think everyone sees the plot, William Shakespeare's inspiration for Hamlet, and thinks action movie.
I just don't want people to think
ever.
I want to just put all that other stuff aside.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, but it's like out of all the genres, you had to pick action movies. But anyway, for me, at my number 4 is Song Sung Blue, which I think Brian is the only other one.
Number 11 I had.
Yeah. But yeah, look, I went into this movie not really knowing much about the source material. All I knew it was a Neil Diamond biopic, like what a few people online seem to be mistaken for it. But it's about this tribute act that covered Neil Diamond's songs, and yeah, the movie itself is really supposedly like good. Hugh Jackman, I think, was fantastic as Lightning, and Kate Hudson was just as good. And yeah, it's one of those ones like there's a turn in the movie that I did not expect, but it was also one of those cases that I just had no idea about this real life tribute band to begin with. So I thought it was just really interesting. I always find it fascinating when you go into a biopic of someone you don't know too much about, then like finding out all the stuff about them. So yeah, but Brian, what are your thoughts about Song Sung Blue?
Yeah, gorgeous. I thought it'd be like a generic biopic, but no, this movie has a lot of heart. Especially the 2 kids are great. They're perfect. Mostly the daughter, Kate Hudson's daughter, was my favorite part of the film. Every time she appears, I love the music. When somebody was the part of the holy scene, and her getting back to normal, and yeah, I didn't see that twist coming as well, Malcolm. This is a movie I think could get nominated for the Oscars for Kate Hudson if they put her in. It's a lot great, very heartwarming, nice hug for you when you feel down. This will cheer you up. So song blue made by 11.
But with that, Brian, what do you have at number 3?
Yeah, this is a part from earlier Roof Band for my number 3.
All right. Brian, what you can talk about?
Yeah, going to this, I enjoyed the trailer. Yeah, people think it's this comedy about this guy, but no, it's a biopic about this incident that happens. The guy who robbed the Toys R Us, and I really didn't have that much information going to it, but I felt the heart, felt the some good comedy there. Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst have great chemistry with each other. It gave me some nostalgia feel with the Toys R Us back in 2000s. I love the Christmas stuff that happens. Yeah, there's some good comedy moments, some good dramatic moments. I really enjoy the Keith Stanfield as this buddy. It's a great movie. Yeah, Roofman number 3.
And JPO, what are your thoughts about Roofman?
Yeah, another one I really enjoyed. I didn't see this till it was dropped on Paramount, and I quite enjoyed it. Kind of even more of a laid back movie from the director, like I was mentioning before with Aronofsky. This is from Derek Cianfrance, who did Place Beyond the Pines and Blue Valentine. So this is definitely his most uplifting film yet. But not that it's overly, silly by any means. There's definitely stakes here of him, trying to lay low, trying to originally do what was right for, not right for his kid, but defend for, his kid here. And then, kind of getting sucked into this church group with a very likable Kirsten Dunst here. Channing Tatum is, I think, perfectly casted as this guy here because, you definitely feel for him. He's kind of a nice guy. Even one of the opening scene is when he's about to lock Tony Overlori in the freezer, and he gives him his jacket because he doesn't want him to be cold. Like just good stuff there and whatnot. And yeah, it's really intriguing story here. My boy Peter Dinklage, kind of a dick as the manager of the place here, and yeah, just really intriguing tale here. Again, just like any movie that's based on a true story, Channing Tatum a lot sexier than the guy the movie was based on. But yeah.
But yeah, JPO, what is your 3?
Oh, sweet. Let's see what I got 3. Was it what I think it is? Yeah, Sinners is what I got in number 3 by the Cougs.
I think
So, yeah.
this is as far as it's going.
Yeah. So you want to go first?
I didn't have
Steve.
Sinners.
Sorry,
No, Steve's doing something.
Mike was punt.
Oh, we're still punting for Sinners?
Steve, pretend we didn't hear what your number 3 was before. What is your number 3?
What was that? I'm sorry.
But, well, because you're punting Sinners, we're on to your number 3. So.
Okay. My number 3 is My number 3 is The Secret Agent. This movie is set in the 70s, and it's set in 1977 in Brazil, and it's about a technology specialist who is forced to go into hiding, and he has to go to the city in order for him to get some passports to leave the country. Unfortunately, what he doesn't know that he eventually finds out is that he has a death threat placed upon him. This movie is phenomenal. This is like a movie that was made in the 1970s. It has split diopter, it has long takes, it has a great soundtrack, and it even has a tribute to Jaws, which obviously came out 50 years after this movie came out. So I think it's a little coincidence that there's a Jaws reference here, because there's a portion of the scene where there's an actual human leg inside of a shark's mouth in this scene. So it's just great tribute to that. I mean, Wagner Moura delivers a very excellent performance in a role within a role within a role. If you, when I say that and you watch the movie, you know what I mean. Again, the Academy, it doesn't look like it's going to recognize it besides Best International, which is a shame. But again, hoping that Wagner Moura wins the Golden Globe and eventually gets nominated for an Oscar. I'm hoping for the best, but this is a great movie. It's an excellent espionage-esque movie that will keep you at your seat on your at the edge of your seat for especially the last 20 minutes of the movie. But yes, Secret Agent.
If that Dan, we go to you. What is your number 3?
First, I have a question. What was your 8 through 5, Malcolm? If you don't mind me asking.
My 8 to 5 was Superman, Bob Tofino Likes It, Sorry Baby, and Tina.
Okay. What was your number? Number 4. What was his name's
For
number?
me,
Yeah.
or mine
what-
was Superman, number 4.
Okay. Your number 4 was Superman. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. In case for one of mine that got punted. So that's all I'm asking. Okay.
Yeah.
My number 3 is, I believe somebody's got this as well, and that's sentimental value. Unless they got it higher than me.
It's my number 2, but we can talk about it now. That's
You're up
fine.
next. You're up soon anyway. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I said we can talk about it now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have it lower than that. I would like to talk about it as well. So.
Well, yeah, we'll get to talk about it, Steve. Don't worry.
That's how the show works, Steve.
I know.
Yeah.
But Dan, what do you have to say to me about?
Yeah. Oh God, you know what, guys? I am so sorry. I screwed up. I'm going off of memory. I apologize. I'm going off of memory. Sentimental value isn't number 3. I apologize. I'm really sorry. My number 3 is Rental Family.
That was on mine.
Yeah, that's the one that you had, Brian. Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly apologize, guys. I don't have it.
That's all good.
Rental Family is about an actor who lives in Japan who is having a hard time finding work, and he accepts a job at a firm or a company where they replace people with actors in people's lives, as like a brother, a father, an uncle, a best friend, so forth. And so as an actor, he's performing as a brother, a father, a son, or whatever, uncle, whatever, in these people's lives. And what happens is he ends up actually enjoying the job of filling the void in these people's lives. At first, he didn't like it, but then as time goes by, he starts to enjoy the job of filling the void in people's lives. And it's a very, very emotional movie. It's a very emotional movie. And another movie that you will cry. There's some just heartbreaking scenes in this movie between Brendan Fraser, who's the main star, and Shannon Gorman, who's first-time young actress in this movie, and a Japanese guy. I cannot, for the life of me, remember the guy's name at this point in my life. But people say, "Oh, this is too sentimental. It's overly sentimental. It's trying to be." So what? So what? It's a fantastic, heartwarming movie, and this is a real life industry in Japan where people play roles in other people's lives, and this has been going on for like 30 years now. This kind of acting and replacement in people's lives. Is a Searchlight movie, so it's probably going to be on Hulu pretty soon if it's not already on there. I know I've been a broken
Not
record.
yet.
No, okay. It'll get on there eventually, or Disney, one or the other. So you guys will have a chance to see it. Brendan Fraser won the Academy Award for The Whale. I'll tell you what, I think he gives an equally great performance in this movie. And he didn't have any work out of after doing The Whale. Nobody wanted to hire him. This is the only job he got from Hikari. And I'll tell you what, wow, he is amazing in this movie. Amazing. Sorry, I apologize.
He was in Brothers on Amazon Prime with Josh Brolin and Peter Dinklage last year. So he's done work since The Whale, just saying. And Killers of the Flower Moon, as Brian just said. And Bad Girl. Oh, wait, never mind.
But Brian, you also Rental Family.
Yeah, this movie, screw you, Searchlight for not submitting this. This is a movie that should get awarded on the Oscar. This is a great movie, very emotional movie. especially the part with him and the old man as well. His chemistry with them is great, and yeah, Dan mentioned this is a guy pretend to be other people, play roles. You get a guy who wants to play video games with, be his friend for that, and different tasks. And I thought the emotional aspects, especially the last act where we see a twist coming with one of the main actors, like twist how it's done with his family, but you see what happens there. And yeah, very heartwarming, very relatable as well for some people as well. So I dug this movie, very emotional movie. So yeah, that made my list.
But with that, moving on to my number 3, and this might be one punt after another because it's one battle after another.
Punt.
Hunt.
Before that would happen. But Brian, what is your number 2?
Yeah, number 2. This was flip point with this one number 1. Both of them are masterpieces in my opinion. That's Mario Supreme for my number 2. Yeah, this movie I really enjoyed, and I do love Mr. Chalamet and Josh Safdie, I believe it was, who directed it. He did a great job directing it, especially a lot of tension each moment of the film. Each moment of the film was like, holy shit, this a lot of times. I love Gwyneth Paltrow in the film as Kay, the actress, would say, "Hey, I still act. Let's see how I do." And she was great. Fran Drescher was great as his mother. So great, none actors are great as well. Like Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank is perfect as Norman Rockwell. Even the ping pong stuff at the end, like with Enzo, who's actually a real ping pong player, appears in the film. Even though halfway the film, my theater broke actually, so they had to wait for Ron to turn back on. But then once it turned back on, it started getting great. Love the score is great. Tracy Farm had a great year for film scores. So number 2, Mario Supreme.
Steve, what are your thoughts about Marty Supreme?
Marty Supreme is just basically, not basically, I'm going to say falsify. It's very propulsing. It's very stress inducing. It's a very stressful movie. It's like all of the Safdie brothers movie, just as is said in the 50s. So you had Good Time, stressing and propulsing. Uncut Gems, stressing and propulsing. And just the same, except this is in the 50s. This is what I would say. This is a movie set in the 50s, shot like it was in the 80s, and it has everything about the 80s. You have the score that reminds me of the group's Tangerine Dreams in the 80s when they do the fleet of synthesized scores. Those were the scores like Chariots of Fire and Blade Runner. Those type of scores is like reminding me of Marty Supreme. Timothy Chalamet delivers his best performance to date, and Odessa Azion delivers a fantastic performance as Rachel. And you think it's one thing. It feels like you think it's going to be a one-note character, but there's a little bit of a little twist, as Shyamalan would like to say. But you also have Gwyneth Paltrow making a welcome return to the screen in a non-MCU movie. Kevin O'Leary delivering for an acting job, amazing. Like I Am a Vampire monologue is fantastic. You like Fran Drescher, filmmaker Abel Ferrara as Ezra the gangster. I mean, perfect New York gangster. Who would have thought be Abel Ferrara?
Tyler Creator as well as his buddy.
Tyler the Creator, even David Mamet, who was in the play scene as the playwright, as the play runner. This is great. It's quite amazing, and one of the best needle drops of the year is the ending.
And Dan, I believe you're the only other one that had Marty Supreme.
Yeah, I mean, if you like a fast-paced, well shot, incredibly well acted period piece, then this is the movie for you. This movie has everything you could think of in it. I mean, if you're a fan of Uncut Gems, you're going to absolutely love this. This is a better version of Uncut Gems. Timothy Chalamet has been on the precipice of getting an Oscar win in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years or so. I think it's his turn. And if you say you don't believe in people's turn, well, I disagree with you. it's his turn. He's going to win an Academy Award for this role. He's the reason to see this movie. All those other reasons that Steve Mesa just mentioned and Ryan mentioned are very good reasons to see this movie. But the main reason is Timothy Chalamet, as Adam Sandler likes to say, Chalamet. He's incredible. He is incredible in this movie. This is easily one of the best movies of the year, and that's why I have it on my list, because I like great movies. And this is a great movie.
JPO, what do you have at number 2?
Muted.
Who's Jacob?
Oh yeah. Okay. JPO.
I heard Jacob. Did anyone else hear Jacob?
I said JPO.
Oh, I don't know. I heard Jacob. I have one better. That's another number 2.
Punt.
Yep. Steve, what is your number 2?
I also have One Battle After Another.
All right, punt that.
It's still going to be a punt. But
No.
Dan, what do you have at number 2?
Number 2 is Sentimental Value. I mixed up my list. I was going off of memory, so I kind of mixed up. But yeah, Sentimental Value. Oh my God. I mean, look, we all have families. We all have family drama. We all have issues with our father. A lot of us do. Some of us don't. Maybe our brothers and sisters we have issues with. This movie really, Joachim Trier really shows you the issues that a father and a child can have with each other and still possibly maybe rekindle a relationship. A sister and a sister or a brother and a sister can have with each other. It's about a director of a movie director who has an estranged relationship with his children as he spent most of his time directing movies. And they had a passing of a one of their parents, and so they have to deal with selling and moving all the stuff in the house and dealing with what to do with the house. But also the father's making a new movie. He wants the daughter to be in the movie. It's got so much. The script is unbelievable. This is a phenomenal script with phenomenal acting from Rene Rensve. Stellan Skarsgård gives the performance of his career, and the guy just had a stroke before filming this movie, and he found a way to be able to remember his lines by a secret way of doing it. It's got Elle Fanning. It's got other people that are in it that I can't remember. The sister, for the life of me, I cannot remember her name right now. But I just love this movie. It shows you that everybody has a messed up family. We all have problems. It's just a matter of whether you can get over the problems you have with your siblings or your father or whatever. And I really resonated with this quite a bit because I have had father issues in the past, and my father just passed away a few months ago. So it was kind of a bittersweet seeing this movie. It really hit me hard. So Sentimental Value.
Yeah, this is one I didn't expect to end up as high as it did. But it's like those that know me know I'm not always one that to go check out the foreign language movies. Like when it comes to reading subtitles, I barely can pay attention as it is. But it's one of those ones like I went into this one and it's and yeah, like I could also deal with like messed up families and stuff like and it's just one of those ones like I thought it was just a great movie, and it's just one of those ones that apparently I like movies directed by Joachim Trier now because I also really enjoyed The Worst Person in the World as well. So yeah. But Steve, what are your thoughts about Sentimental Value?
Sentimental Value it's a phenomenal. It's it's a phenomenal movie. It's just a great ensemble too. It's everybody who's in this movie just deliver great performance. We talk about Renata Renata Rensiv, Stellan Skarsgård, Inga Ibsadar Lilias is the sister, Elle Fanning. Even there's the guy who was playing one of the villains from the Bond movies, Jasper Christensen. He's in that movie too as one of the Gustav's best friend. But I love the editing in this movie is such. It's fantastic because the way the movie can be told in many ways, but the way it's told in the editing, especially in the first montage, and in which they're basically saying that the home itself, it's kind of almost like another character in the movie as well, besides the people that's speaking the lines. But I think the scene that follows that where Nora has basically a breakdown is probably one of the best opening scenes of this year, and it describes an anxiety attack in which I've experienced, and I'm sure many of us have had experienced some anxiety attacks, but like this really encapsulated in terms of what one person would be feeling about a situation when they're getting ready to go on a play and they're just suffering and they just can't do it. They just can't do it. And the fact that also his father wants to replace him with Elle Fanning in the movie, not that it's an insult, but that's also adds into the family dynamics and the dysfunction of it, besides having Gustav go away for doing films and not being there for her daughters when they were growing up and just being there to support them, besides just financially. And just the last scene of the movie is also phenomenal. I think this movie has great bookends. It has a great opening and it has a great closing. Sentimental value and it's a shame that the SAG did not recognize the acting prize, the actors in this movie, let alone foreign films. I'm sorry to go on a tangent, but I think that this movie is going to get a boatload of nominations, especially Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, and in the acting category.
All right. But with that, we go into number ones. I'm pretty sure I know what most people's number one is because there's only one spot left and only one movie that has been punted. Brian, what is your number one?
Yeah, another masterpiece in my opinion. One battle to another. Yeah, going to this, I always seen one PTA movie before, which was One Punch of Love. So I still hold on to movies, but I read this and I really dug it. It's not the worst of the year according to Zach Shelton, but this movie has a lot of humor, especially the whole subplot with the Adventures Club and their whole obsession over Santa Claus. Hail Santa! I love Sean Penn here as Lockjaw. He was a great villain. Benicio del Toro gave one of the best supporting performances of the year as Sensei. What the time of day? 8:15. One of the favorite scenes in the film. I love the choice of music. Teyana Taylor giving a great supporting performance in the first half, in the beginning. Leonardo DiCaprio playing great stoner character Bob, which a lot of people do enjoy. So number one is One Battle to Another.
I know both Steve and JP had it at 2. I had it at 3. Dan, is it your number one as well?
Yes.
Okay. We'll just go about roundabout way to talk about then. JP, what are your thoughts about One Battle After Another?
No, this movie, all the hype kind of lived up to it for me here. This movie doesn't let up. It's so intriguing, kind of different. It threw me off for a minute at first, like the first scene between Sean Penn and Teyana. I was like, what are we getting into here? But it totally tracks in the end. I like Leo playing, this stoner here. It's very intriguing setup here. Something again is sadly not, totally far fetched anymore either. Everyone's great. Del Toro as the sensei, great little Eddie Guerrero also too, if you catch that in there. The performances are fantastic. It's really a great never kind of lets up tale, and this one like I said, it lived up to every kind of little hype that I had heard.
Steve, what are your thoughts about One Battle After Another?
In the words of the current generation of kids that live today, this movie slaps. This is Paul Thomas Anderson's best movie. Period. bar none, his best movie, his most accessible movie. It's easy to get into. You don't have to watch any weird things. You don't have to see any symbolism or anything. This just basically tells a story about a person searching for his daughter and making sure going after trying to find the people who are trying to find her daughter. And it's a very straightforward movie. Great ensemble. I think this is DiCaprio del Toro's best performances to date. The Chase Infinity is amazing, and this is her first freaking movie. This is her first movie it's just Sean Penn being absolute batshit crazy and basically giving us a Vincent Kennedy McMahon performance, which I want to see him in a biopic of Vincent Kennedy McMahon now.
I could see it actually. You're fired.
Yeah, Regina Hall, I mean, delivering even great performance in just about, I believe, 8 minutes. Same as Teyana Taylor, establishing a presence within the first frame of the movie. The first thing you see here is her face, and she just owns it, just grabs everybody by the lapels and just tells you just to hold on and just tells you, just watch me. And she damn well delivers it. The Christmas Adventurers Club. There's a whole bunch of the Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero reference that jumped up to my spot just because the fact we have a wrestling reference in there, and the chase sequence is probably the best scene of 2025.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot more movies with wrestling references or wrestlers this year as well. But Dan, what are your thoughts about one battle after another?
Yeah, it's hard to say a whole lot more after Steve and Brian. But yeah, look, I am not the biggest Paul Thomas Anderson fan. I've had a lot of ups and downs with his filmography over the years. I wouldn't say this is my number one Paul Thomas Anderson movie, but it's up there in my top 3 Paul Thomas Anderson movies. But sometimes just because it's not your number one, or that doesn't mean it can't be your favorite from that particular year. And it really resonated with me about the father-daughter relationship, and Leo's relationship with Chase Infinity was really interesting. And the father's kind of out of touch with reality until he's forced to go in. He's a slacker who sits around with his bathrobe and stuff and smokes weed and stuff like that. But then when he has to really get off his backside and get going because the bad guys are coming to get him, or the perceived bad guys, he does. And and having that daughter, she really does care. He really cared about her. And there's a lot of single parents in the world today, and a lot of single mothers and fathers. If we had more parents and mothers and fathers that cared about their kids as much as this guy did, the world would be a better place. This really showed me what a father should be. I didn't have a good father, so this father figure kind of, even though he was a bit of a slacker at first there, and then the political machinations of the movie are really something that triggered me as well, because I think we need people that need to show, hey, if you're doing something wrong, we're going to call you out. We're going to make sure that you're being held accountable for doing wrong in this country, no matter what position, if you're a major in the military or what, if you're corrupt bankers or corrupt whatever you are, and I just love the message. This is the second time PTA has done a Pynchon novel. The last one, not my cup of tea at all. But this time it really resonated with me quite a bit. And the comedy stuff with Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn and the Christmas Club and all that kind of stuff, it was just thrown in there, and it was a mixed bag with a lot of the dramatic stuff. And like Steve said, the chase scene at the end of the movie, oh my God, what a intense, interesting, fascinating, intense chasing scenes with the cars and stuff. And cinematography, oh my God, I absolutely love the cinematography in this movie. But I could go on forever about it. It was my number one movie for a reason, because it's the best movie of the year.
Yeah, I thought One Bad Off Another is great. I thought it was fantastic, and yeah, it's like my first thought when I saw Sean Penn, especially in the later parts, like Yeah, he's definitely doing the Vince McMahon strut. It was definitely the first in my mind. But yeah, but the fact that this movie is like inspired a huge craze of people dressing up as Bob as Halloween is like I feel it was great.
And their kids, Bob, like adult males' kids, they would have
Yeah.
the kids dress up as Chase Infinity's character. So it'd be the parent with the bathrobe and the daughter or the whatever with the other part of the garb.
With the skirt, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I heard people start talking about this movie, they start talking about Chase Infinity. I thought it was like, why are they talking about this American cell phone company in relation to this movie?
That's a good pun there.
But with that, JPO, what is your number one?
Yeah, I alluded to before, man. This is the year of JPO in the fields. That's why the number one movie is just one that I left really just smitten by and thought about too. I have Life of Chuck, man. I love this movie kind of from the get-go here. The initial kind of thriller mystery premise of what's going on, which is edgy for, is his conversation with this Malch and later on his conversation with Matthew Lillard. Again, 2 for 2. Stephen King adaptations. Mike Flanagan, I think, knows how to do his works here. And in this case, there is some horror mystery to it here, but it's a lot more human than that, than like just the horror. And then again, the dance sequence I fell in love with, and then the end too, when you kind of do have more of a view as to what's going on, I think absolutely works with Tremblay and the last scene and what it leaves you with and thinking. And again, another shout out to Mark Hamill, who's fantastic as like the new father figure to him, grandpa style. So yeah, this movie just really worked for me. Life of Chuck.
And Steve, what would your number one?
My number one movie of the year is Sinners. There's this run that Ryan Coogler is on. I think all his movies are ranged from good to fantastic, but with Sinners, I think there was something from the jump off point from what he did the last movie to now, where he just launched himself as becoming an auteur. This will probably be forever known as his modus operandi, his MO. Whether you look at it as for good or for bad, but everybody's going to remember him for Sinners till the day he passes. This movie is just, we know it's another movie. It's another movie which is also have a very good lived-in world in which they establish a whole bunch of characters, especially in the beginning before we get thrown into the chaos that is vampires. But they give you so much mythology at the beginning just to establish on what you're going to be expecting or what's happening during this movie. And I just think the way he expands this mythology with this cast of characters, with his story, with everything in the production, from the cinematography to the costume design to the production design to the editing to the music, is just all it's all just feels very on the level of a movie that you can't make twice. Michael B. Jordan delivering a dual performance as the Stack twins. You have Wanu Masaku as Annie. You have Haley Stanfield. You have Miles Canton making an amazing debut performance. We're talking about the year of debut performance. We have Miles Canton and Chase Infinity delivering fantastic, amazing first-time performances. And also they weave in a little bit of a history of blues in there too, and also just that one scene where you get to see the history of music and dance told in one take is phenomenal, especially when you saw it in IMAX and you saw the frames just open up as the camera was moving. It is phenomenal. I've seen this movie this year 4 times. It's such a great movie. I saw it twice at the IMAX and 70 millimeter. That shows you how much I really love this movie, and it's hard for me to even be able to express on what would even compel me to watch most movies twice in theaters, except for the fact that I really, really, really enjoy movies. But yeah, Sinner is amazing. It's gonna do gangbusters in the Oscars. And again, this is probably, I'll say it's probably my favorite film of the decade so far.
So, Steve, did you see Sinners 4 times within the last 11 days?
No. Not within the last 11 days. Within the last.
I knew what you meant. I just wanted to make that joke. But,
All right.
But Brian, you also had Sinners. What do you
Yes, I did. My number five, and yeah, I'm not really known for being a horror guy, but I went with some expectations. Because I do enjoy Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, and I really dug it. I love the music. I love the supporting cast. Delroy Lindo is great as well. Also, Omar Miller, I enjoyed him as Cornbread showing up in there. I didn't really classify as horror film for me. I think it's more like from dusk to dawn style-esque, and I really dug the music. I loved the vampire scene toward the second half. Great use of post-credit scene as well, like when the credit starts, more of the film continued. And Buddy Guy was good as the older Miles in the future. And yes, I have it number 5.
And JPO, you also had it. What are your thoughts about Sinners?
Did you say you don't clarify it as horror?
I didn't really classify the horror film this year, though.
I don't know.
I mean,
I didn't hear you that time.
I mean, you compared it from Dusk to Dawn, which is a horror movie. So yeah.
I mean, like with jump scares.
But JPO, what did your thoughts about Sinners?
Oh, I don't know if I might be breaking up here for a second. Okay, am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't hear any of the rebuttals. But that's fine. Yeah, no, Sinners was dope, man. I mean, again, talk about a movie that, like, I don't want to say I went in with expectations, but again, I'm just like, all right, man, hey, Ryan Coogler, again, shooting kind of 100. I'm a B. Jordan guy because I'm a Jordan. And now this thing, again, works from beginning to end. It's sexy. It's well shot. You know what I mean? It's well paced, I think, from, setting up what's going on to the final with the up ramp at the end. Steve said it too, man. Another, like, wonderful, like, first performance too that we got from one by another. Now this movie with I think you said Miles, like holy shit, like that's a great performance here. And then too, like one of the really fun epilogues too, like one of those like real fun kind of like catch-alongs for like a mid-credits epilogue scene too. Got a shout out to that as well. So yeah, man, Sinners one of my top 5 from the beginning of the year all the way to the end here, like or halfway mark rather. Definitely stayed up there. It was great.
But yeah, with that, Dan, your number 1 was One Bad of Another. We've already talked about it, so it's on to my number 1, which I totally expect no one to have on my list except me, and that is Pike, the New Zealand movie Pike River. It's about it basically what it's about is about this true story about these miners that got trapped in a mine in a cave-in and stuff, and then that it's not primarily about that, but it's about the court case afterwards of the 2 widows of a couple of the miners, and that starting this campaign to try and convince the government to get their men out, it's this incredible story about just showing like all the lies and stuff that the government were spouting and stuff the police were saying, and all that. Like, it just really captured a lot of it, and just and yeah, it's one of those ones that it's kind of a really sad story because because all they wanted was the bodies of their deceased out of the mine so they can give them a proper funeral and that, and they just never did, and yeah, once again, if you like courtroom dramas, if you like these kind of movies, if it ever releases over there or you find it somewhere, I definitely urge you to check it out because I think it's one of those really good stories, and which, yeah, and it's one of the but yeah, it's just amazing. But with that is the end of this. I'm going to go around and get some honorable mentions from people, but Brian, what are some honorable mentions that you had that just missed the cut? And
Yeah.
don't do too much. Just try to do
No,
like
I'll
three.
do like my five honorable mentions there. So number 5 was Baltimore likes it. Almost made the cut. The Running Man, Weapons, Nonas, and The Accountant 2 were my honorable mentions.
And JPO, what is your 5 honorable mentions that sort of just missed out in your top 12?
Thunderbolts I dug, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, Companion, F1, and Friendship.
Steve, what are your 5 honorable mentions that sort of just missed out in your top 12? You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I can't help. By the way, everybody that mentioned all the previous movies, I appreciate everything that you guys say, like Wake Up Dead Man and everything everybody talked about. So here are 5 movies that we haven't talked about yet. So The Colors Within, Grand Theft Hamlet, Black Bag, 28 Years Later, and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
And Dan, what are 5 honorable mentions?
Not fair. I want to do what Steve did. Movies when I talk about Queen of the Ring and Freaky Tales. They were also really good. Okay, move
on. But Dan, what are some 5 honorable mentions that just missed out in your top 12?
Yeah, I'm not going to do what Steve did because I'm going to mention one that Steve mentioned, and that's 28 Years Later. Also, another one Steve mentioned, No Other Choice. Somebody said Zootopia 2. F1, Mission Impossible, Fantastic Four. It could go on and on.
For me, some that sort of just missed out on the cut for me. Hedda, the Amazon Prime movie with Tessa Thompson, The Life of Chuck, Bring Her Back, Weapons, and Queen of the Ring also just missed out on my top 12. But that is the end of Bankum for this week. Next week for our second episode, it's just fitting that part 2s of movies won the poll. So we're going to be talking about the top 12 part 2s in movies. So that will be happening next week. But Brian, where can people find you online?
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me on, Malcolm. This is a good discussion. You can find me on the Pierce Code doing ASAS. I'm in the ASAS tournament facing Eric Moreno. Or Feltos calling it to long-time first-time watch show to call in. Hosted by JPO and Tato. Multiplex Trivia, I'm part of the Trios League and Blockbuster Brawl. TBNT Trivia for Fandom. Me and Steve are our new team there this season. And Reader Network, I'm scheduled to be on Tuesday's episode. I don't think Jordan made the group yet, or I hope I'm not bumped off.
But JPO, where can people find you online?
Okay, sorry. There's a new thing in Fortnite. It's a fish. I don't know how it worked. I was confused. But online, you can find me over at the aforementioned the Periscope. I will be, continuing that tournament here pretty soon. You'll see some familiar faces from the stream, except for Dan because he doesn't like to hang out. That'll be a lot of fun here. Those matches will be coming up, and some other discussions of stuff from throughout the year. Me and Brian are going to be talking about our top 10 favorite underseen movies from this year on Sunday. That'll be interesting because I think there's some hidden gems no one has really talked about, including my dead friend Zoe. Go see it, assholes. So thank you. Thanks for having me.
I have seen it, and funnily enough, I think the other Jordan has also seen it.
Yes.
Steve, we can be on you online.
You can find me on YouTube at Mesa Media One. You can find me on Twitter at Mesa Media One or at Steve Mesa. You can find me on Facebook as Mesa Media One. On Instagram, you can find me at SMesa85, where slowly but surely I've been doing my video countdown. And the last couple of videos, you'll see the intro, and then you'll see basically 30 through blah, blah, blah. And I have a video countdown that's going to all be compiled into one video that'll be available, I believe, on Monday at noon via Vimeo. And it's a long video, but I think if you appreciate editing and appreciate the music, I think you like it. So check it out.
And Dan, where can people find you online?
Yeah, and I've seen my dead friend Zoe back in April. My name.
All right, back off me. God, I was just saying.
And Bob Trevino likes it. I saw back in April, but both of them very underrated movies, both very good movies. I was glad to see you guys bring those up. Yeah, you could find me under my name, Dan Skip Allen, on Facebook, on Blue Sky, on Threads / Instagram, on X / Twitter, on Letterboxd. But also, I'm over with Malcolm on Gone with the Wind. We got to have a new episode Monday night, I believe, if my memory serves me. If you like awards season, you like awards shows, that's the show for you. Gone with the Wind. I got my interview with the makeup and prosthetics people behind The Ugly Stepsister. If you like cringe horror movies, you need to watch The Ugly Stepsister. Also, I'm sometimes over with Jordan and them guys on the Movie Hero Network. I did my After the 128 this week. If you want to go watch that, that was a really fun episode. Also, I'm part of a game show that was created about 1.5 to 2 years ago. We're finally having some episodes over on the Chasing Labels channel called Movie Mutations. Go give those a watch, where we take a movie and we mutate it into something else. I'll be having my episode very soon, so you get to see me mutate Rocky to something else. So also, I am the owner, editor-in-chief, and head film critic of FromTheFourthRow.com. My best of the year is on there. My best TV shows of the year 2025 is on it. My most anticipated of 2026 is on there. I got new reviews of Greenland 2 Migration, Primate, Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. Also, anything you can think of that has come out in the theaters, movie-wise, you probably could find a review over there. Of this entire thing so far, there was only one movie I hadn't seen, and that's Malcolm, Pike River. I'm going to go find Pike River, Malcolm. I'm going to watch that movie.
Yeah, you can find me on Take 3 Productions as I host Random every week. Next week we're doing top 12 part 2s in movies. You can find me on Monday, where I'll be taking on Nick Hernandez over on the PSCO for the ASAP movie tournament.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think we're looking around 8:30. We'll be back with Gone with the Wind. We were talking about all the award things that happened this week, and the Golden Globe winners. And not you can, and I'll pop up here and there on other places. I believe the next movie here network thing will be on the best movies of 2025. And yeah, and I will be compiling everyone's lists. And when I post, because I'm not going to do a poll for this one, but when I post it, I'm going to post the combined list of everyone's thing and combine it all into a concise top 12. I was going to do that live on here, but I'm not going to spend ages doing maths on here. I'll do that off here, and then I'll post it in the chat on the page later. But yeah, that is ranking for this week. We'll see you next week with top 12 part 2s. And as I don't actually have my outro that I there. But
This is the outro.
It is. Why not?
There it is.